Recording. All right, good. So, state your name, Anthony.
Anthony Czajkowski. I'm a licensed optician in the state of Florida. I've been an optician for approximately 35 years, and I've been in the business close to probably 40 years.
Wow, and I bet you've seen a lot of changes in the industry since then.
A tremendous amount.
So, I came to you originally, Anthony, because I've been coming to you for years because you're my local guy.
Yes.
But originally, when I first came to see you for glasses, probably 7 or 8 years ago, you're the one that got me hooked on progressives. And I was looking at trifocals, bifocals, and progressives were really. I don't know how long progressives have been on the scene in the industry.
Progressives really came out in the 50s. And
Okay.
They came out, I think, in 1959.
Wow, that's a long time ago.
Yes. But it didn't become mainstream until probably the end of the 80s. And the lenses just weren't of a high quality. So you had a lot of non-adapts with
Right.
the progressive lenses. But as technology got better, patients or customers then became better informed about the newest technology. It all improved.
Yeah, they got thinner, for example, right? Because back in the day, if I were to get progressives, they would have been the size of Coke.
Yes,
bottle
that's
lenses,
right. Now we can make them much thinner. The progressives are much easier to use. You have far less distortion on your peripheral. They're much better. It's the closest thing you can get to having 20-year-old eyes.
Wow.
Is by having progressives, because it gives you the vision up close, intermediate, and distance.
When you prescribe lenses for somebody that uses progressives,
Yes.
right? And I don't know what percentage of your customers go for progressives versus a fixed, lens solution. But what is kind of the typical scenario for a progressive customer? Like, why do they need them? Why are they going for that particular set?
Usually it's an age-related phenomenon that goes on. And so you get to around the age of 40, and everybody's a little bit different, and you start to need a little more help up close because that lens gets tighter and it doesn't pull, and so you're not able to focus quite as well. And so those people then have a choice. They can go into, as you stated earlier, either a bifocal, and that's maybe what we saw our grandparents wearing, and that was a straight line going across. And bifocal, hence the name, gives you two visions, distance and near. You could get a trifocal, and that will have an extra set of lines, but people didn't like the lines.
Right.
It would tell your age. They knew you were over the age of 40,
right.
Even though you could be a young-looking individual. With going with progressives, it's a straight lens. There are no lines, there are no indications, but you have the ability to see up close, intermediate, and distance.
Right.
And it resolves a good portion of all the problems, but it's not perfect.
As we learned,
that's right. So, like you have different pairs of shoes in your closet, and guys will have less
right.
shoes than women. We know women tend to have many, but you might have a sport pair of shoes, dress shoes, blah, blah, blah. With progressive lenses, you can do the same thing. You can specialize. You want to give your eyes a real treat and take off some of the strain, you get computer glasses or a technology lens, something more intermediate. And it's designed to see that computer terminal and be able to see up close. It won't be for distance. So
right.
Your head movements aren't going to be as extreme as they are in regular progressives.
So a lot of people don't know that there's no such thing as a one-size-fit-all pair of glasses.
Yeah. It would be great if we had more advertising in trying to inform the patient customer of these latest advances that will help us. Because as you know, you're on the computer many hours a day.
Yeah, and a lot of the computer industry sort of, marketing speak is go buy a more expensive monitor, which is, it does help because obviously if you have more pixels and you have a sharper monitor, it's not going to be as blurry. But at the same time, the main optics piece of equipment you have is your eyes.
Yes.
Not the screen.
Yeah,
So,
and the screen, it can be beneficial to make it larger, because everything about it is going to be better. But it also can be a deterrent, because now if you have a larger monitor and it goes above your eye level, as many of these desktops will, if you have a 32-inch one, or maybe you have multiples, well, then you got to start bobbing your head up and down with a technology lens.
Right, because like with the progressive, like, if you don't start at a certain focal power, right, then it's too late in the progression. So then you have to tilt your head up, 30, 40 degrees, and then like do this thing, what I'm doing with my eyes to get that sharpness at that 2.5, 3 foot distance, which is stupid.
It's stupid, and you can't work like that.
No.
You can't do it from day to day. If you're doing a quick look, you could get by. So if you're just an individual and you just want to do that once in a while, you could get by. But for us, we're on the computer a lot. Even if we aren't on the computer as much as you might be on for 6 to 10 hours a day. I might be on, 3 or 4 hours. It still benefits me. 3 or 4 hours is a long time.
Someone who's in the technology field that sits in front of a computer constantly, or is a data entry person or a lawyer, or someone who has to look at a screen a long time, this sounds like a perfect solution.
It really is. And the people who get it, they are tickled pink. They usually didn't realize that it was available to them, and that this really can make their life that much easier and comfortable.
So why these progressives buying a dedicated set of progressives for this versus what quote unquote people are now calling readers? These inexpensive reader glasses that you can buy on the internet. Do those help anybody or
So they will help a select few. Now, many people wear them, but there's many people who would benefit from really having true prescription, but they either don't know better, don't care, or they're being penny wise and dollar foolish.
Right.
And so we see a lot of that across many industries. But so reading glasses give you one vision. Well, is that one vision for reading, which is approximately 14 inches away from the eye, or is it for computer? And are you trying to use that one pair of glasses to do both things? It doesn't work. With the technology lens, it gives you the ability, because it fluctuates the powers throughout the lens. So it'll allow you to see at that 28 inches, your terminal, and then be able to read up close.
Cool. Now, obviously, I'm getting my pair from you, but can anybody go to across? Obviously, it's for this national market, right? Yeah. What should somebody do if they want to get a technology? Go to a licensed optician for something like this?
You absolutely want to go to a licensed optician.
Not like a regular glasses store chain.
If you go to a chain, and some of those places are going to be just fine, but those are people who are trained salespeople.
Right.
I'm not interested in making a sale per se. That's how I make my living, but I really want to try and give you the best quality vision I can give you. And so, if you needed me to get you a frame that isn't over the top expensive, I'm glad to do it. All I care about is that lens for you to help you get the best vision and the best results.
So go to your town optician. Somebody who's not necessarily in. He may be in the business of selling you eye frames and glasses.
Sure.
But he's not like you're looking for someone who's kind of a specialist, small optician.
You don't want to go to a salesperson. You want to go with somebody who knows the latest.
This is going to be the guy that's actually gonna might be attached to a doctor's office in some cases.
Yes, and many times they're very good that way because they're seeing a diverse group of people with special visual needs, such as yourself.
Right.
Yes, and who have some decent amount of powers, such as yourself.
Cool. What should somebody look for in a pair of glasses? Or obviously the lens is the lens, but what should they be looking for
in the way of the
glasses?
frame? You don't want to go too small on these type of lenses. You want to make sure you have some distance, and you want, no matter how much you spend, you want to make sure you're picking a frame that's comfortable. Again, you're going to be wearing these for hours on end.
Not necessarily. This is not the pair of glasses you're going to go outside and be seen with. This is the thing that
Yeah, I don't care about the fashion. You can care about the fashion if you want to come in. I'm glad to help you with that. Mine is a more practical sense. I want to get you a good fitting pair of glasses to help you get the best vision so you can be on the computer without the extra eye strain that we're all complaining about. And it's a fit. It's the kind of lens that you're being fit with. And unfortunately, or fortunately, you may have to spend a couple extra dollars in doing this. But this is 6 hours a day you're spending on the computer.
Or more for some people.
Yes, that's exactly right. So you could be spending 30 to 60 hours. It's well worth the investment of spending an extra $300, $400, $500, $600. I promise you. I promise.
Cool. Well, Tony, thanks for your time. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Cool.